since President Donald Trump returned to the White House, and the results are being analyzed as a clear political setback for the Republican camp, with Democrats scoring key wins across multiple states and city races. The big headline, though, which is coming in from New York City, is where 34-year-old Zohran Mamdani has been elected. He's won as the mayor of the New York City after defeating Republican and Trump-backed candidate Andrew Cuomo, who ran as an independent. Mamdani, a self-described democratic socialist, has been a frequent target of President Trump's criticism and now emerges as a possible national figure as well. Meanwhile, in Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger has been elected as the state's first ever female governor, marking a significant breakthrough for the party. In fact, Virginia recorded another first as Democrat Ghazala Hashmi has won the lieutenant governor's race. Remember, Ghazala Hashmi has become the first Indian American and first Muslim to win the statewide office in Virginia, which is a major milestone. Now, of course, all the attention shifts to California, where voters are considering a Democratic proposal that could redraw the congressional maps and possibly eliminate up to 5 Republican-held districts. We'll get you more on that later, but let's quickly go across to my colleague Srinjoy, who's joining us with more from what has been happening in the United States of America this morning. Srinjoy, quite a good morning for the Democrats in the United States of America. Key elections that have been won, whether it's in the New York City, whether it's Virginia or New Jersey, all three have been swept by the Democrats. A setback for the Republicans also sets the tone for the midterm elections next year.
Undoubtedly, first of all, New York, because New York clearly is the most important here, or the most significant. And that has to be said, that New York city alone has a GDP which is a third of all of India's. So it's a very rich city. And the inequalities were such that Mamdani ran a very left-of-center campaign as a democratic socialist, and he has policies that could help the poor, or at least the needy in New York. He wants to reduce rents. He wants to give opportunities as far as transport is concerned. He wants to have child care free. All of those things are very positive. Now, whether these will become realities, because America has so many checks and balances, remains to be seen. Also, there is a problem here vis-a-vis finances. Can he raise the necessary finances? Will there be a flight of capital out of New York to an extent? Then, of course, there is Trump's threat to withhold federal funds. So all of these things are worrying.
Yeah, Srinjoy, I'm going to come back to you quickly. Right now, let me go across to KP Fabian. He's a former diplomat. Mr. Fabian, good morning. How do you see this victory of not just Zohran Mamdani, but the Democrats winning across 3 key states? These were significant elections ahead of the midterms that we're expecting next year in November. Obviously, that Trump versus Mamdani tussle comes into play, takes center stage, and reflects perhaps the kind of sentiment that is prevailing on ground.
Good morning. As I see it, it's a historic election victory, not only for Mamdani, not only for New York, but also for America and for the rest of the world. Because we are witnessing a reversal of the triumphant Trump wave. In fact, my view is that Trump is heading towards, to take a historic parallel, he is heading towards his Waterloo, which Napoleon did. And what we see also, I'm so happy that the leadership has been given to the youth. He is one of the youngest mayors around the globe, and it is high time that such transfer of responsibility happens not only in America, but also in India.
All right. Ambassador Fabian, thanks very much for joining us at the moment and sharing your perspective. Of course, a young guy who's now all set to become the New York mayor, somebody who's in his 30s. He's 34-year-old Zohran Mamdani. very big promises that he's made to the people of New York. And, of course, we'll have to wait and watch whether he'll be able to fulfill those promises. But largely, remember, Mamdani's entire campaign has been revolving around him promising freebies to the people of New York. So we'll have to wait and watch how much of that he's able to fulfill. But on your screens, you also see not just Mamdani interacting with New Yorkers, but we're also getting you how Donald Trump has reacted to this entire election result. And White House has put out this cryptic post where they're saying Trump is your president.